The fact that your ankle kind of ended up entangled in the chair.
There's a lot going on.
I like that your ankle got entangled in the chair, and you're like, fuck it, I ain't moving it. You're up with this kind of bizarre old ankle, and I'm staying. It burns, but I'm staying.
From my angle, I love seeing you guys come down, and then randomly, two people who didn't know you were coming just went right into the aisle, and were like, ah!
Yeah, two people were like, oh, now's a good time to go to the bathroom.
See, I didn't see that look. I saw them get up and see us and go like, get out of my way. I'm lining up, get out of my face.
And I could just, because I put on the face of, move it or lose it. And it was just like them turning around and it's just like, and I'm just like this in slow motion. And I'm sure what it would have looked like was just hair behind me.
I actually still
also in slow motion.
I had my moose antlers on still, so luckily they got out of the way.
Well, you know what? I think what I'm going to do now is make this official.
Let's do that.
Good people of Vancouver and the rest of BC, please. A warm welcome to the boys who've been making a television show in your neighborhood for 15 years. Jensen and Jared Halarecki. Boys, the stage is yours.
Alrighty.
Norton, you don't mind if we sit directly in front of you, do you? Not at all.
As long as he's lit. Hi guys, welcome to our last.
Welcome to Canada,
Canada A Con, where Jensen and I and a few others go back to film Supernatural tomorrow. Next time we see you here, it'll be in the rearview mirror. But we won't talk about that now because I get a little dusty.
You have
I'm just emotional.
glitter all over your face.
Yeah, because I hugged you. I don't sweat.
No, seriously.
I glisten.
Did you eat a unicorn for lunch? It's all over your face.
Touch it.
No. Negative. Get your party herpes off me.
Holiday herpes? Do I really have glitter?
You really do.
You have some right here, actually. It's highlighter.
Oh my gosh, you're right, I do have it. All right, who's wearing glitter? Wow. That's many of you, great. Okay, I guess, well, answered that question, moving on.
I sparkle, you're welcome. Can everybody hear all right?
Yeah.
Very cool. It was just a decent, it was a honest question. I was curious.
Before we get too far, stop it! Before we get too far down this road, I would like to point out a section of the crowd that has been tirelessly working for this show. Back there. We should have made them wear like crew shirts or something to identify. We did brand them all season 3, but that's probably not visible.
It's not legal these days.
No, if you do get a chance to run into any of those folks back there, please give them anybody currently employed or formerly employed by Supernatural, please stand up back there, please.
Thanks, guys and gals.
Yeah, that's certainly owe them as much gratitude as we could possibly give them. They work a lot harder than we do, and I will only say that on this stage.
When they're in the room.
Never directly to their face. How's everybody doing? Good weekend so far? Yeah. How about this guy last night? Am I right?
Did I miss something? Did something happen last night that I didn't see?
We missed you. Get away.
Fine. Yeah, I heard the concert was a smash hit. So I'll be watching the YouTube videos. Daddy,
How often do you go down the supernatural YouTube rabbit hole?
Way too often.
I'm gonna take a guess. 2 to 3 times a week.
Maybe not that much anymore, but you know how it always starts out? I do go down the YouTube rabbit hole for supernatural.
Bloopers.
Gag reel, bloopers. Once that happens, I'm just like, like, if you like season 1 bloopers, you'll love season 2 bloopers. I'm like, I sure would.
I wonder how many analytics YouTube went through to come up with that suggestion.
14 seasons of bloopers later, I'm having like 8 hours less of sleep than I would have had I just turned my phone off or left it in a different room. But c'est la vie. Yeah.
Somebody was saying, I was talking to one of our crew recently, and you're talking about ideas for crew gifts for this year, and maybe some things that we'd like to see. And somebody said a yearbook, and I thought that's an interesting idea. And then I thought, well, isn't that what YouTube is? It's literally a video yearbook of everything you do and don't want to see on Supernatural. More don't than do, yeah. I thought that was an interesting concept. Although we've been together longer than you would have if you'd gotten your senior yearbook.
Not if you failed in school.
Oh my God. Yeah, not if you get held back.
If the show ends and you give me a yearbook, I'm gonna be pissed off at you. Unless it's gold plated. And then you can open it.
What if inside is a handwritten letter of my admiration of how you've grown as a human being throughout the years and how I've watched you go from a man to a father, and from a father to a hero?
Is it gold plated? All right, we have some people.
If you could go on a hunt with 3 other characters from different shows, who would it be?
With 3 other characters from different shows? Ooh. Okay.
Network or cable?
Or streaming or...
Actual television or internet shows?
I'd like to have Amel on the hunt.
Suck ass.
No, because I mean, like, people often think, why are you wearing flannel and a jacket in the summer? But if they see me next to a guy in rubber, they're gonna be like, I look better by comparison. I'd like to have, do you know anybody?
Yeah.
Negan.
Lucifer.
So we have another funny accent.
Yep.
On camera.
Another funny accent. Thomas Shelby.
And I guess Negan, because, not because of his hunting abilities, but because we're faster than he is, so we don't have to outrun the zombies, we just have to outrun Negan. So we could probably make do and survive.
If you were to pick 3, what would they be?
Negan, Priestley from Tenachiro, and Dean from Gilmore Girls.
We only get one teammate. That would be fun.
You're right. You're right. I can't think of anybody better than Dean from Gilmore Girls to take down a vampire's nest. He'll chuck a hot cup of coffee at them and hope they burn.
Yes. They'll burn their hands on the cup of coffee.
Right.
Because it's hot.
And allow an escape, I guess.
I'll
It's
give them
really
groceries, and they'll be weighed down.
weighted down by the
grocery
grocery.
bags. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Well thought out. Thanks.
For your question. We don't.
How do we get anything done?
It's all just
Slowly.
happy accidents.
Actually, not slowly. We shoot at a breakneck speed and somehow do it with as much fooling around as we do. I don't know. It's a conundrum. I think we're all very knowledgeable of the fact that we're unhireable anywhere else. So there's that.
So if y'all have a job offering, call me in April. I work for food, so.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a season, because there's parts of every season that I really like, and then there's maybe certain episodes that I was like, oh, maybe I missed the mark on that, or I wish that storyline would have gone a little longer, or whatever. And I think of moments that are my favorite. Not necessarily an episode in its entirety or a season in its entirety, but I think of moments that stand out to me that are my favorite. One that just hit me, and I could sit here and probably come up with a dozen right now, but one that just hit me was the moment that Dean confronts his mom in the vision. And it was, it took on such a bigger thing. When I read it first, I was like, okay, this is like, Dean's getting some therapy out here. But it became such a bigger thing because when Amara said to Dean, I'm going to give you what you need the most, I think most of us would have assumed that was his father. And then I think that most of us would have assumed, well, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's not available right now. Let's give Dean what he needs second the most. It would be his mom. But it wasn't just that he needed a parental figure in his life. It was that he needed to confront his feelings with his mother that had been pent up for so long. And I thought that was such a huge cathartic moment for the story and those characters. And those are moments that when I think back on Supernatural years from now, that I'll remember less about the entirety of the episode or the season, but it's those moments that I shared with Samantha on screen, those moments that I shared with Jared or Misha or a number of other brilliant characters and actors. So yeah, it'll be fun to reflect, but right now I'm focused on what's ahead of me, and we still got a long road.
This is for both of you. If you had the chance to write an episode of Supernatural, what would it be about?
I can tell you right now. And I almost don't want to tell you right now because it's. All right, I'll tell you. I don't care. So Jared and myself and Richard Spade have, throughout the last maybe 2 or 3 seasons, have started started having these ideas of funny moments that could or should happen on Supernatural, and we've been writing them down in a little text thread, and we just call it Naked SPN as an homage to Naked Gun. So doing a full slapstick comedy version of Supernatural where it's just ridiculous and stupid and funny to us. And we'd like to put those moments kind of together in a way that it makes sense for a script, but I don't know, we're running out of time, so we might have to get on that if we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, and I'll take that one. Yeah, I agree. We have a pretty funny, some homages, a lot of just goofy, slapsticky, silly. It would be a great episode. It would be one that I would watch more often than the others. Yeah, I think if I had one wish for our final 11 episodes that I haven't read yet, since I've read up to 9.
Next month. And so I would like to know how you would spend your perfect Sunday in Austin.
Doing what my wife and kids are doing right now, which is they're out in the pool with some neighbors and friends, and they're going to order some barbecue and hang out and do nothing. That, or doing it in a couple months when football season is in full swing and I can watch the Cowboys. Our Sundays are usually interesting because it's some bit of relaxation, but it's also preparation because when we wake up on Monday, we got to hit the ground running for 5 days. So you have to kind of stay sharp. Saturdays can get a little hairy. But Sundays, usually it's like, okay, well, I want to have a good time, I want to relax, but I want to stay sharp, astute, because tomorrow I have to, go pay homage to Sam Winchester and his buddies and brother and all that.
I would not want to be doing what my wife and kids are doing at this moment, and that is they're all sitting on the couch watching Beaches. I don't know. It's like Daniil's favorite movie, and I'm like, not while I'm around. Get your fill of Bette Midler somewhere else. I would say, in all honesty, if you can, if Saturday night doesn't take too big of a toll on you, wake up, take a walk or a jog or a bike ride around the lake, town lake. If you're a little bit more adventurous, run a stand-up paddleboard. And head out there and enjoy the city views from the water. Then maybe grab some lunch, maybe some oysters at Clark's. They have really good burgers. Then maybe head out to a little place called Family Business Brewery. Beat the afternoon heat with a nice pint of beer in an Oak Grove. Then after that, maybe head back downtown and watch the bats fly out from underneath the South Congress Street Bridge, which is, they call it Bat City. There's over 1 million bats every single night that fly out from underneath the bridge right downtown and go off into the night to eat mosquitoes. Thank you bats. It's quite a sight. And then maybe go for a nightcap at a place called Sanjak or Stereotype. And if you're lucky, real lucky, you might catch a glimpse of one of the local celebrities there by the name of Matthew McConaughey.
It's for both of you, and it's about like your personal attire. So when you guys choose, I know sometimes you go to events and you have stylists that style you. In the events that you do things.
Not true.
Okay, so then my question is, who is your style icon? When you put on like an article of clothing and you're thinking in your head like, this person is my inspiration, this is the feel, the mood that I want to emulate. I'm really curious about that because you guys.
Yeah, Jared, I'm really curious. Who is your style?
Are you ready for another nap? Because I'll tell you my answer. I don't have a style.
Does your wife help you? Does Jen help you? Or you
Sure.
think-
I mean, when she's okay.
She gave up.
Yeah. She gave up. Yeah.
She gave up a few years ago.
I think Genevieve and Jensen have long tried to assist me in getting more fashionable. Fashionable? Is that German? Fashionable or fashionable? It's not difficult to see that I dress for comfort. Thank you. This was like an intervention. Did you plan this?
Jared, I didn't mean to put put you on the spot.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I should have prepared for this. Yeah. Let's put it this way. When Jen and I started dating, this is not a word of a lie. When Jen and I started dating, it was season 4 of Supernatural, so I'd been a successful actor. You know, I was very fortunate financially, and I had a house that was 7 figures, and I could buy first-class plane tickets and go to concerts and eat fine food and drink fine wine. And the pair of pants that I wore most often, they were like the old bootcut style. It gets better. Because they were bootcut style and I'd had them for so long, they would catch underneath my shoes every now and again and got ripped. And they got ripped pretty high up. And so I stapled them together.
He wore these jeans for years.
They were comfortable.
They were stapled up to his mid-calf. And not like, you know, maybe some sort of fabric staple or something that was used by a seamstress or something like that. Like office staples. All the way up his calf, and I'm like, you know, they make jeans. And then, like, a few of us even do it, like, they could also repair those jeans with proper stitching and make it look like it's, you know, just some distressed thing. And he's like, nah, I'm pretty good with the staples right now. Because if one pops out, I just pop another one in.
They worked well.
They didn't work well. They were held together by metal.
And love. Long story short, I never got rid of them, but they did vanish. And I don't know if it was him or Jen.
Oh no, Jen told me. She was like, oh, when he wasn't looking, I think she had a little bit of a ceremony in the backyard. And she lit them on fire. And I could never be really sure, but I think she said taps were being played.
Yeah, so that tells you about my fashion style. Jensen?
Fashion night. Jared. I don't really
I think for you, in my opinion, depends on the occasion.
Yeah. You know, if I was talking about being on stage like last night, I would probably look to somebody like Gary Clark Jr. or something like that. Be like, I think he's got a cool style when he's, you know, on stage. When it comes to just like casual stuff, I go more by, like there's a couple of stores that I will shop at, and I think the lines of clothing that they wear kind of lend themselves to being in a certain style.
So then what's your favorite store to shop at?
There's a store called Stag Provisions for Men. There's 2 in Austin and 1 in Venice, California. There's a place here in Vancouver called Brooklyn Clothing Company. So they're kind of smaller boutique stores that have kind of unknown brands, and I tend to like those kind of that kind of stuff. So, but I don't look to one person and be like, yeah, if I could just do everything they do, that'd be great. I think everybody should have, it should be personalized to them, and I think you should feel comfortable, but also try to look decent.
Well, conveniently, both Stags in Austin and By George and Brooklyn Clothing Company here are near office depots, so you can get staples before or after, depending on the hours that they're open. Yeah. They have,
Touche.
Yeah, to each their own.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.